across the board is you're doing a lot of, and it's not really blow, but you're doing a lot of like this. You'll come across, and you'll come back like this, and you'll do this. That's a sword blow. We don't want you to do that. That's why we don't like to have the sword. We like to have a stick.
2 hands.
2 hands really is the best. But and we want you to do, wide swinging blows. So let's say like I swing at Dad, and he dodges, and I had stepped way over here, and he went that way. All right. You can kind of reset yourself, and then step here. It's okay. Because the attacker, the swinger, is the facilitator of the guy that's being exercised. Okay, so don't get caught up in that. But I really want you guys to work on, when you go away from this, I really want you to work on wide swinging, like baseball swings.
One of the things that I was pointing out to these guys, though, as well, even though the participant with the sword is dictating the pace and the motion and the movement of the exercise, as the defender, as the dodger, you too can do that as well. Give me a couple, Dan. So as I make the dodge, my next motion can be into a point where I kind of help dictate where the next blow is coming from.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So,
exactly. And now what I've done here is after the swords come by me, I'm pushing against the backside of his blow. Right? That makes him have to reset from this side.
Yeah. So one of the things that will really help, remember the idea of the rubber band. You'll notice that when I did it with Dad, we showed you inside, I got my hands here, and I'm bringing my hands up. And I'm using that to facilitate the flows that come down. Again, I want to show you the last possible second, least amount of movement, is really coincides. You guys are all moving too soon. But even as he swings to the next controller, like the second one, I'm still using a lot of times the hands to kind of push that energy over me. Or I'm coming, as he's coming this way, coming that. So you can use that to kind of help channel that energy your way. It'll help you do the stuff that Brian just said. It'll help you when you get into that next level we talked about, where you dodge and kind of, you're blocking it, but what you're doing is the energy's pushing you away from the blow, not pushing the blow away from you.
But you want it because of the swinging, you can help the exercise by adding some to the blow. Have you ever seen a focus kata in karate? For those that haven't, so I'm assuming you haven't studied it. You're really pushing your power in there. Yeah, you can feel that stuff. You really can. So do that.
Yep. Okay, so again, if anybody here not get this yet, that I know you didn't, but we can talk later. So anybody else not get this yet? Has anybody got a chance to do it?
Do what?
Swing and dodge.
I think we're all there.
Okay, so we'll talk real quick. The next thing I want to show you is, Brian and Dad can help with this, but did you bring your shield?
I got mine. Or I got H.
Okay, could you grab my shield out of the black bag that's in the back of Dad's car and another shield? I want to do the slow work a bit. Okay, so slow work. Again, there's 2 things I wanted to really teach beforehand. Technique-wise and stuff, again, we'll do some individual technique critiquing as we're fighting. And, but a lot of the technique that I would teach you is what he teaches. So, because I don't teach you how I fight necessarily, and my particular, individualistic style that I've built over the last, 30 years of fighting or so. I don't teach you that necessarily up front. Later on, as you're getting out there, I'm gonna, like what was done for me. If you're having something that I'm not very good at, I'm gonna find somebody who's got a body style like yours and point you that way, and help you build your own individual skill set of stuff to use. But go ahead.
I think what he's trying to say is that what we're trying to teach you is a foundational mechanic, right? Teaching your body how it best moves to achieve a certain goal of power, movement, perception, while maintaining integrity of your body through the course of a career of fighting. Then there's the individual changes that you make as you build on these foundational techniques that we're teaching today.
Can I borrow this shield? I forgot mine.
It's a lefty if you want it.
No,
In the back of my van.
Brian's got one, Dan. Okay, so yes. So the dodging exercise, remember all those words I used? Timing, flow, perception, all those things. This exercise will develop that and teach you that. And so the next thing that we're going to show you is probably, unless you've fought around any of us before and trained with one of us three, you may never have seen. And that's a slow work that's not a slow fight. And at advanced levels, it's not even really fast. I mean, not even really slow. But initially, I mean, we teach the single sword first and then move on to sword and shield. But what we're going to want you to get at is, again, this is an exercise that teaches flow, it teaches coordination, it teaches movement, it teaches perception. It's a dance. It's not a fight.
It's an exercise.
It's an exercise. But I want to get you out of the fact that it's going to look a lot more similar to fighting than the last exercise we did, especially as we get a little higher up. But again, you'll notice we're not throwing flat snaps, and we're going to see a lot of wide swinging things again, because again, it's a movement exercise.
Yeah, you're not throwing fakes, you're not throwing Molonaise, you're not changing direction of the sword all that much. What you're doing is you're doing a consistent body of motion, both as an attacker and a defender.
Okay, so, yeah, go ahead.
Also, when you are using a multiple speed exercise, reduced speed exercises, the techniques change depending on how fast you are. So if I'm doing the teardrop return, I'm doing it fast. It's right around here like this. I'm doing it slow, it's like this. Because everything moves in when you get fast. So if you're practicing it slow like this, then you're doing it fast like this.
And it's all wrist.
And that's counterintuitive to the laws of physics. Obviously, centrifugal force pushes things out when it gets fast. We're not that object. That's that stationary object.
It's actually more of a biomechanical thing.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the illustration we always use is the ice skater. Everybody's seen ice skaters, they spin faster.
That's the physics part.
Yeah, they pull themselves in, they go faster, they pull themselves out, they slow down. So it's the same thing. The movement that they do to learn it is very wide as they're learning the motion, and as they speed it up, it gets smaller. So, because that creates more centrifugal force, which then translates to speed. So, but anyways,
how fast do I start?
we'll start slow and then just ramp it up. So again, you'll notice a lot of one of the tenets of our style of fighting is we do an aggressive punch block. So you'll see a lot more of that than you may be used to. So when we do this exercise, I want you to work on that. It's a come out block and swing. There's a reciprocal motion of your arms and your hands. So. And you'll notice at the beginning, we're going to be like, when his sword is forward, mine's going to be back. And then when mine's forward, his is going to be back. It starts off that way, and then he will likely change the lead on me, and so we'll go from there. And again, senior person starts, so I'm waiting for him to go. So I'm moving to attack the sword sometimes because I know where my weakness is against this.
Now you notice for the most part, the strikes are going to the four major target corners, right? They're not going straight into the middle of the body. They're going to the other side of the head, or either side of just above the knee.
Now I'm going to do something just to show you. I'm not going to block one as he comes in, so and he's not going to hit me. Okay, it's the person swinging the sword is supposed to maintain control in case somebody doesn't.
Let's do that again. Just do 3 or 4 blows and then do that again.
Okay. So, you swinging, it's your job to not hurt your opponent.
And the way you stop the blows like that is you push it towards the tip.
Okay.
So if I'm coming around like this, it stops it.
How many lefties do I got? 1, 2, 3. You fight with a shield?
I might be.
I know who all your friends are. So.
You know what? You can actually do this exercise with 2 swords.
Thanks. Hey, not my sword.